What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. Jumping into some Rugby 25 today, because what's going on with Rugby 25? This is a question I've had thrown at me a lot in the last sort of fortnight or so. The content has run awfully dry about Rugby 25. Updates have slowed down and the game's gone very, very quiet on social media and online and stuff. Obviously, I haven't been doing any videos on it, and I've been seeing it a lot in my comment sections on Discord. A lot of people reaching out to me and asking me, you know, what's going on, what's going to be happening. Because for those of you who have seen the video, well, end of October, it was 19 days ago at the time of filming this, Early Access 5 came with a whole bunch of new features and updates and stuff, one of which we believed was meant to be online gameplay. An online multiplayer was something I was really looking forward to. Wasn't included. They delayed it and put out on Twitter and all the other places like it was going to be delayed. It'll be coming in a few days. Now, that was nearly 3 weeks ago, and there's still no online in sight. So I thought today we'll jump in, we'll talk a bit about the game, where it's currently at. We'll play a game in the background because it's always fun. A few people have asked me for some different teams and stuff to show off and what have you. But something I haven't brought up in another video, I was waiting for a minor update to bring it up. We've had the new roadmap out, which came out, which is saying that in November they're going to be doing the improved gameplay, adding the stadium creator, which is one I'll be looking forward to, but the player creator was okay. The logo creator, very much not so. So the stadium creator is one I'll be paying a lot of attention to when that comes out to see what that's like. The additional photogrammetry for players, additional French, Italian, German, Spanish, Korean, Japanese translation. Hey, fun, you know, makes the game a bit more accessible worldwide. In December, we've got improved gameplay, adding training and tutorials, which would be very useful for a lot of new players coming to the game. I do kind of wish that had been in Early Access 1. I can't see too many people necessarily picking up Early Access at this point. Maybe they're thinking December. People might pick it up for Christmas to get involved with the Early Access, so maybe that's the time to get your training and tutorials in. Adding the tactics system, which is something a lot of us are asking for with your set plays and maybe being able to do your formations, maybe able to do a bit of like team roster changing and stuff. I think that'll really sort of bulk out the way the game goes, and then just more additional player visuals and stuff. Now, online's still not available. We'll jump into a game and we'll talk a bit about the sort of thoughts on the game. Let's do that as a bit more of a chilled, laid-back. We're not going to be diving too in depth with some analysis and breaking down the game. A bit more of a general chat kind of video. Who have we got in the... who some people asked for? A lot of people were asking about some of the South African club level teams. Let's check out a couple of the South African club level teams. We got Bulls. Who's another one? Who else I feel like we did. Did we do the Lions? I don't know. Let's do Bulls Lions. Why not? There's a fun little game. We'll chuck it on hardest and we'll sort of jump in. And we'll talk a bit about what's going on in the world of Rugby 25 at the minute. So I've been playing a little bit more of this game. I've actually played it quite a lot through Early Access 5, and it's been a very interesting update as it's sort of progressed onwards. When I did the original video, I was very much enjoying it. I then did a video with my missus. We were testing out the sort of co-op local multiplayer to get a bit of a feel for what it was like to do player versus player. And you know what? There was some stability issues, but nothing, too crazy. The longer this update has been out, I've experienced a lot more problems with it, and a few people were asking me about their own issues that they've been having with the game. There are a lot of things that are breaking the game at the minute, and the list is getting longer and longer. If there is anyone in watching this video who happens to be a game developer, do let me know if there's such a thing as game degradation, maybe. Oh wow, we got a nice little break early on here, of like an update being out and suddenly a game's stability getting worse as time goes on. I can't believe that's a thing, but the list is certainly lengthy now. You can't do drop goals. If you go for or if you successfully land a drop goal, it will crash the game. We've had issues with counter rucks being successful. You will crash the game. Forward passes will crash the game. Sometimes just hitting a gap in the opponent's defense in a really certain way will get a crash in the game. There's a lot of stability issues at the minute, and a lot of people talk about the online multiplayer. That was a bit of an awkward pass, and about it being delayed and what have you. Now, Bigant, if you followed along with the saga of this game coming out, the joy of the big ant timeline is one that's becoming its own little meme at the minute with Just when anything means a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months, anything can mean anything in Bigant Studios time. Game was meant to come out World Cup 2023. We're nearly into 2025. We're still playing it in early access. So I've seen a few people getting over on the FAQ pages have been sort of calling out JNT and Matt over on the FAQ pages asking for updates. It's been really nice to hear back from those guys on the FAQ pages or, other sources where you can say, you know what, they're actually not in charge of these delays happening or when stuff's being released. They're just there to answer questions and sort of provide feedback about the game in its current state and what have you. So don't hound them. But it's been nice, to sort of know that they're in a little bit in the dark as well. But a few people get annoyed that the online's not actually in the game. At the minute, I'm not necessarily that bothered about online not being in the game. Mainly because I don't think this game is quite going to hold up for online. I wanted to do it just to test out, and I like seeing it all. I'm someone who I can laugh at glitches. I can laugh at stuff going weird. I've got plenty of content on the channel where things go wrong and break, and I see the funny side of it. Some people don't. Some people get really, really annoyed at it. I just wanted to see what the multiplayer was going to be like, but they have delayed it now, and it kind of feels like actually maybe it was a right decision. If the online, we have no idea what the state of online is. Online might be terrible. We don't know. So maybe they delayed it because it was terrible. Maybe they've delayed it because after doing Early Access 5, and obviously, the game developers are playing this in a much later build than we probably are now. They might be in Early Access 7 or something, already playing the game. They obviously don't release it as and when. They're obviously going to be, a little bit ahead of us and stuff. Maybe they realised that Early Access 5 was going to have a lot more stability issues. Like I said, the crashing has certainly been one for me that has been very irritating to not be able to complete a game. I have actually been doing the URC Championships. I'm trying to complete a championship, and I would say, 1 in 5, 1 in 6 games you actually get to complete, and when the game crashes you have to go back and restart the match right from the start, and it can be a little bit jarring. If that was going to be in an online space, I feel like that would be quite annoying. The game that could crash on anyone for any reason, there's plenty of things you can do to manually crash it. So if you were losing 50-0, you could just go for a drop goal and crash the game out, and you sort of go, hey, I didn't lose that one because the game crashed, and it probably wouldn't be on your record or anything, or no one needs to know that you lost. And I think some people would do that, which would be a bit of a shame. And a couple of things that I think would be nice to be added into this game before they get to that online. The laws is certainly one. A lot of people have been dropping down in the FAQ pages about, laws still not being in the game. We're still not seeing knock-ons. Knock-ons don't exist in the game. They have added in the offside. I've tried to give the guys over at Bigant as much feedback as I can about the offside rule being implemented correctly. You can still have issues where you can go for a box kick from behind your own try line and it will reward you with like a 22 dropout. There's still a couple of issues with the laws and stuff, but there's still plenty of them missing from the games, and I think some of those are going to really, like this right now should be a scrum right back there from where I kicked it, but instead they've gone for a 22 dropout. Doesn't feel worth it. They could have a scrum in my half. So stuff like that is something I think I would really like to see in the game before we have an online system in play for people to actually be able to enjoy it more. Something else mentioned in that the roadmap coming in December, the tactics system, I think it's going to be something really, really useful to do. At the minute, the game is still pretty one-dimensional. You just run with one guy forwards. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. We're 14-0 now. I'm talking to you this way. I'm not even actually necessarily looking at my main screen, which is over here to me. I can sort of watch it on the viewfinder, and I can still be 14-0 up against the hardest team. The AI is pretty, once you be able to work out what the AI wants to do, you can work out a way around it. Playing another player is going to be a bit more tricky, and I'm not a big fan of one of the tactics. I've seen in a lot of other people's videos. I'll see if I can sort of do an example of it now, but it's going to be a little bit tricky, where people sort of run diagonally and then hit a gap like that. I think that's rubbish. I don't want to see people doing that in an online game. I've seen that in so many people's videos as the only way people score tries, as opposed to maybe a tactical kick over the top. Maybe you play a pass back on the inside and break through the line stuff. That's what I want to be experiencing in an online game. If I'm going to play online with someone, if I lose a game, I want to get beaten. I want the other team to just smash me. I don't want to watch a guy run diagonally across the pitch and I can't chase him down because my guy has worse stamina for some reason than their guy has, and they score a try. So the idea of the tactics system getting added maybe before online. Now they've got that down as December. I think they're still aiming to have online out in November. But I think the tactics system will add a lot to this game. I'm hoping the tactics system does actually mean things like set plays. Things like being able to change your team lineup, or maybe changing some subs on during the game. Maybe the fatigue will be a bit better and stuff in the game, and you'll be forced to do some substitution stuff. I would really enjoy that type of stuff, and I think it would add a lot to the multiplayer, which multiplayer in rugby games has never been particularly good. Now, I understand that there is meant to be, they've always done it for their early access, big major update videos and stuff, and some of the minor updates where they've got like videos and stuff to go along with it for a bit more of a breakdown. And it's normally Matt chatting. He goes, "Hello there, guys, I'm Matt," and I always enjoy those videos. I believe there is kind of meant to be one looming around somewhere for online and stuff. And I don't know when that'll be coming out. I don't know if they'll get it out for Early Access 5. It might well be Early Access 6. We are now in November 19th at the time of filming. The roadmap for the November one is meant to be, major updates probably going to come end of November. So, we might have online coming in that one. There might not be a new minor update. But that's everything going on with online. That's as far as I'm aware for the online system currently in the game. How is the game standing up now? I've been playing a bit more, like I've said, and I have noticed a few more things that you are, sort of able to do, or have learned a bit more about the game that maybe I didn't cover in some of the other videos because I just didn't know them, what have you. So a lot of people have brought up about the offside markers, which you can see on screen right now. Got the offside at the ruck, and people have been very 50-50. Some people really like them. Some people really dislike them. I said in the video, I think it's very useful for newbies. Or can we make a bit of a break here? Anyone on the inside of me? Final pass. Oh, I tried to cover the pass. He just dived over for the try. Some people like the offside line. Some people haven't liked them. I think for new players, it would be useful to learn. I think when they get that training and tutorial system, it will be something into the game. I've read a lot of comments on my videos about people saying, I wish we could turn them off. I wish that would be an option. I have gone through the settings and made doubly sure. Currently in the game, you can't turn them off. They are stuck on. I have seen and have heard there will be a function coming to turn them off. So you don't have to have them on. If you're someone that doesn't like a lot of clutter on the screen and a lot of stuff in your face for the UI, that will be something that will, or should be being implemented. I'm not going to talk on behalf of them. I don't work for Bigant as much as people seem to believe. I do, believe me. I wish I could get paid to sit here and play rugby games and talk about them. I don't work for Bigant. I don't actually know 100% what they're doing. But my understanding is that there is actually meant to be a functionality to turn off these offside lines and stuff from the pitch. The bar, which I didn't even notice in the original video. I'm somehow playing as two people there. That's underneath the ruck. I've still not understood at all. I have no idea. I have to assume that is more a building block for something going forwards. Because at the minute, nothing changes from what rucking has been in this game to Early Access 5 in terms of that bar being added. Nothing has changed at all. All that happens is there's now a bar on screen that tells you everything you already knew. The rucking system, I've seen a few people say they still are really struggling to work out the deal with it. It is literally a numbers game. You have got to have 3 people in a ruck. The other team has to have 1. If you get that, you get the turnover. That's how it works, which is one of the issues when you play with other players, is obviously they would just always put in 3, and currently there doesn't seem to be a way to get major turnovers in this game. Let's go for a box kick because we're getting stuck in my own little section here. Let's just kick that out for half time. Well, we're doing well here. 28-0. That's pretty good for hardest difficulty, right? How are we doing stats wise? A lot of 99% possession, dominating this game while we're having a bit of a chat about this. Something else. I'm going to try and do it now. There is some hidden animations in this game. We're going to give it a go to see what you do. Now, there is the ability. I've been able to do a bit of testing, and it's normally to do with dropping the ball in between these two guys over here. Sometimes you can get the players to lift up their partner. Let's see if they do it now. Look at this. A little animation of two guys running in and lifting their guy in the air in order to be able to catch the ball. And stuff like that I really enjoy. I really wish I'd been able to catch that in, in a previous video. I can't remember who mentioned that. It might have been Valhalla mentioned that in the Discord for the first time. I'd never seen it. And it's pretty consistent. You can just aim to drop the ball in between those two players. I'm looking forward to stuff like that being developed further. I wish stuff like that got mentioned in patch notes and stuff, because I love seeing little things like that. Oh, can we pick up the ball? My guy just had a heart attack or so. I don't know what happened there. And he went down. Oh, there's a nice little break by them. A little offside, inside pass rather. Let's go back in there. But there are some new stuff like that, which is nice to see in this game. It is showing that they are grasping a bit more. My understanding in the FAQ pages, from what I've read, is a lot of the background of the guys over at Bigant has been their, like a rugby league understanding. And a lot of people said when this game first came out, everything looks like rugby league. The way the rucks work, the way the tackles come in, the way the players move in, the player builds. It's still, not necessarily. Let's just try and get, some sort of images here. Sure, you've got a lock here. 4 and 5 certainly look taller than the rest of the players, and typically a lock would be bigger. But some of your props and your hookers and stuff. The idea that we've got a tight head prop here, next to an inside centre, and the prop is slightly bigger. But for anyone who knows a lot about rugby union and stuff, props can be some beefy boys on the pitch, and I've played with a number of props. They don't mind it. They enjoy the compliment of being the big units on the field. I've been tackled by a few of them. It's like hell. I'm not a big old boy. But the player models do resemble a lot of the rugby league stuff. So I think there's a bit of a learning curve at the minute for the Bigant Studios guys to make that switch over from maybe a rugby league mindset. They've moved over a bit more to trying to do union. But stuff like those little animations, like those players being picked up and catching the ball in just a completely different environment, I really like that. I kind of like that it's already set up to be that way. I would like if there was maybe a bit more of a button combination, that I could do that. It's a nice 50-22 by them. That I could do that anywhere on the field. If they go for a high kickoff, I could hold down X, I could hold down B or something, and I could actually do that manually and get that animation to play. I think that would be nice. Lineouts are still broken, by the way. We did work out basically the middle jumper of lineouts is broken. You can either throw it short or long. It's your only two options at the minute. You can't do a maul. There's a lot of issues with lineouts. And again, this is another reason. Online being delayed, is it the worst thing in the world to... Oh, we need to squeeze through there. That it's been delayed when we don't even have functioning lineouts. Probably not. So there's a few things that I can absolutely understand why people are, bothered by not having some new updates and stuff. Well, can we get on the end of this? No, we're going to run out of stamina just before. So I'll see if I can get a bit of a... Oh, I'm going to tackle him over the line. So that one should be a drop out. I was trying to get them to do the kick to the touchline to sort of operate that they again get to have a free 2022. We won't go for a drop goal because it doesn't work. Oh, nobody caught the ball that time. And we'll take it down. But this was a bit more of a different video, just to sort of have a bit of a chat, play some games, and sort of go over. A few people have been asking me about doing just more games. Why don't you just play games and just make videos of the game? At the minute for me is not really in a state that I think it's going to be an enjoyable series to sit down and watch. Every game is very, very similar. It's very hard to do a lot. There's not a lot of interesting tactics outside of trying to pass it out wide and or doing those sort of diagonal runs where people pick up the ball and you sort of run over. I'm already on the hardest difficulty. I'm already at 99% possession and just scoring tries for fun while making a video. I just don't think it would be that entertaining. All the videos I do on the channel is done in a way of, if I wasn't making the video, would I want to watch the video? And would it be entertaining? If I can sit there and say my own video won't be entertaining, I'm not that bothered about making videos. Some people have already put videos up of just teams playing each other with no commentary and stuff. Fair enough. If that's, people do and people like, and they certainly get views. I don't find that very entertaining, and I can't see myself sitting there and just pumping out this content. Once this game does develop further, and they add in the laws and they add in the tactic systems, and we get a few more of those international teams, I can certainly see doing more videos like we've done with Rugby 22, where we play the actual games. And granted, I have to play as as one of the teams for Rugby 22, and I try and do commentary like we're watching it live, and I find them fun. They're fun to film. They're fun to get a bit of a feel for a bit more of actual rugby and some of the games going on the weekend. Currently, there's not enough international teams in the game to sort of cover things like the autumn internationals, and we've had lots of extra fun stuff for like the autumn internationals to talk about in terms of real rugby and stuff. But currently, the game, are we going to sit down and do an 18-game championship in the URC where every game is me just hammering another team 35-0 and spending probably large portions of the game stuck in midfield like this and can't really do anything, and your only option is, can I just run diagonally across field? Let's see if we get one more offload there, and we'll try and make a breakthrough. I don't think it'll be that entertaining. Let me know down in the comments if that is something people would truly want to watch and be like, you know what, as long as it's some Rugby 25 content, I am interested, and keep that Rugby 25 content coming. Maybe that would be interesting. Let's go for a slightly different kick. Let's go for a kick across field. Mini crossfield kick. Yeah, there's just not really a lot of options to be able to do. I have become a bit of a monster at my strike runs from a line out have been pretty monstrous recently. I'm kind of hoping they don't change the play system from a line out, because I'm looking forward to getting online and just tormenting people with how absolutely brutal my strike runs are from a line out to try and cut back inside. No support runners that time. I have noticed the support runners have been better. They have been with me. The AI have been doing mauls, and they've still been running away from mauls, which is a little bit annoying. There are certainly a lot of interceptions in this game. Amazingly, I don't think we've had that many interceptions. I would say I normally get 4 or 5 interceptions against me every single game I play. And can we get right into the corner? One more pass back inside. Oh, couldn't get a good line. But it's all pretty one-dimensional at the minute, right? So when that tactic system comes in, it's unfortunate that's going to be December. Oh, one more little pop pass. That was a nice little final try. When that tactic system does come in December, that will be potentially a game-changing moment, I think, in this one. Nothing is mentioned in that roadmap about laws, which I don't know when they're going to do that. Maybe they themselves don't know. Maybe they're going to do some laws in sort of updates. I don't think they mentioned about the offside law being added into the game, and it just sort of was one day. Let's go for a long-range kick. Why not? Long little 50-meter kick. 40-0. I feel like we can afford to miss it if not. Oh, it's our number 12 taking it. Okay, why not? So yeah, there are a couple of nice old things coming this week. The stadium creator is one I'm looking forward to in November. The way they've done the major updates, we're probably not getting that. We're not. Please move out the way, referee. I cannot see the posts. There we go. We're probably not going to get that till the end of November. Is how they've done the major updates. I doubt we're going to get multiplayer before then. So if the content of Rugby 25 seems awfully dry on the channel, it's just because there's not a lot to talk about, which is a shame. I've really enjoyed the minor updates, whether they've been good or bad. I've been enjoying seeing the changes and little updates in between each of the major ones. I know a lot of other people have. Some of them have made the game feel much better. Some of them have broken the game. But luckily I had no crashes there. And this is the sort of thing, there are certainly things I know that crash the game I've specifically avoided doing in this. I didn't go for any drop goals. I wasn't trying to do any outrageous turnovers. I wasn't doing a lot of jinky passing. One that I've noticed is if you don't engage in the ruck to try and keep more players out of your defensive line, it causes the AI to just start going sporadic. If the AI run with the ball in their hands into touch, whether you tackle them into touch, they sidestep into touch, or sometimes they just run off the field, that can cause it to crash. I've had enough time and experience with the game that I've been able now I can play kind of around it. But it does mean that the game's pretty one-dimensional. But hey, 42-0, not too bad for on the hardest difficulty for a casual sit down and chat. But there we go, guys. That's just sort of an update on the world of Rugby 25, where it is up to, and probably what we're looking at. Still going ahead. I'm imagining major update 6 or early access 6, whatever they're classifying it as, will be coming out end of November. So we've probably still got a couple of weeks till that one comes out. And there'll be some fun stuff to check out. Improved gameplay, we have no idea what that means. The Stadium Creator is one I'll be taking a bit of a look at. I've not messed around a lot with the Player Creator as much as some of you guys have on the Discord. Some of you guys have made full teams. Not that you can play with them, because I believe when you try and play with a Creator team, the game crashes as well. But, if the Stadium Creator comes in, it'll be something I check out. I've heard a lot of positive things from you guys about Stadium Creators Bigant have had in other games. So if anything, that sounds like, even if they just did a copy-paste job into this one, but for rugby, it should still be at least, positive. Online, will online be coming in November? Genuinely, I have no idea. I would like to think they would like to get it in the game as soon as possible. I'm going to go into that with open eyes and just sort of go, let's just see what happens with online. Two ways of thinking about online when it does get added into the game. It will either be terrible or it actually might be okay. I have no idea. We have no evidence of what it's going to look like so far. The only positive I would say going into it is it theoretically should be the worst it can ever be. Now that might not sound like a negative, but if it's terrible, okay, it's terrible, it doesn't work, and online is atrocious, but they will develop it further as they go through early access. If it's already quite good, then it can only be improved when it does come in. So it's one I'm looking forward to. In the background now, I'm talking to some of the guys about trying to arrange to actually do an online match with them for the video, as opposed to just doing someone completely random online, because it might end up being, terrible connection issues. We want to give the online the best possible chance of being an enjoyable video to sort of sit through and watch and play through and do some testing stuff. So I'm currently working in the background on that with some of those guys, trying to work out if we could actually organise a game with each other. We've just got to know when online will come out. I see a few comments from you guys saying about that we should try and set up a challenge with some of the guys working at Bigant, or if we could get Ross himself to get on and play a game. I don't know how to broach that. I don't know how to reach that one out to. We might be able to create some links to be able to set up a game at some point with them, but they may want to wait till online is settled and at least in a better condition. But we have been over on the Discord. We have been chatting about a couple of the different online features and hopes going forward. A lot of you guys are already setting up your 1v1s. You've already got your rivals on the Discord, which is a lot of fun. If you're not part of the Rugby Gaming Network, of course, it is there on Discord. We've got a lot of very vocal individuals who enjoy talking about the state of the game as it is, improvements they want to see. Like I said, go over to the FAQ page and get in your feedback. If you're playing the early access or if you're just watching the videos, what are you taking away from it? Is there anything I'm missing in these videos? Go tell the guys over on the FAQ pages. I'm still finding things now that I didn't notice. I did find an upside down TV screen literally yesterday, I think, in the Swansea Stadium. There's still things to find that I might not pick up because I'm also doing a video. If you guys see it and I don't even mention it here, get yourselves over to the FAQ page, let the guys over at Bigant know, and it's probably not worth asking them too much on the FAQ page about when is this coming out, when is that coming out, because it sounds like the moderators over on the FAQ page don't actually know exactly when dates are coming out. It doesn't necessarily sound like their department. They're more there to be able to hear feedback, take it on board, and try and answer, a couple of questions here and there. And it's just a good way to try and improve the game. But hopefully we'll enjoy this one today, guys. Slightly different Rugby 25 one, just sitting down, playing a game, bit of a chat about the state of it and why there is no content. Mainly because at the minute, for me, there isn't a lot of content to put into the game. But we wait for November major update. It's probably going to be another 2 weeks. If something comes out before then, as soon as that comes out, I'll be jumping on doing another video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all the latest details. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.